So we've enabled our WebAuth module, which gives us some default user roles. Now let's give those roles some permissions. Talking about users and roles, these will be users that would be logging into your website and doing different things. And so permissions define what things they can do. If we go and look at our list of users, right now there's only one user. This is the admin user. This is the one that gets created when you first create your site. And if we look at our roles, we have a few that were created by the WebAuth module. The basic role for anyone who logs in with your WebAuth module is SUNET user. And then they also get slotted into one of these three roles based on their status as student, faculty, or staff. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. I'll log in here. So as soon as I log in with my SUNET ID, it does recognize that I'm here, but I can't do anything. I don't see any of the administration things. I don't have access to the administration pages or the module lists, etc. The reason is because the administrative user has not given me those permissions. So let me log back in as the administrative user and now look at my list of users. So now I have a new user, which is this SUNET user, and you'll see that because I'm staff, it's given me these two roles. In addition to the roles that come by default with the WebAuth module, you can add further roles. If you want to add an editor role, you can do that. If you want to add a webmaster role, you can do that. Let's say that I want to make this SUNET user a webmaster. I can go into my list of users, select that user, and then add the webmaster role. Now just simply doing that doesn't give my SUNET user the option to do a whole lot. We need to go in and review the permissions for the webmaster role. So let's go ahead and take a look at the permissions that we want to give to this user. Typically, even for webmaster users, we want to avoid any permissions that say PHP, but we can safely give that user most of the other permissions that are here. Sorry, we can give that role most of the other permissions that are here. Another permission that we typically want to skip is this select different theme, unless you have a really good reason to give someone the option to do that. Typically it just causes user confusion. Let's take a minute and review the different types of roles here and what their permissions are. Anonymous user is a generalized type of role. That means anyone who comes to your website and visits your website but has not logged in. Authenticated user is an umbrella user role, which includes all of these other roles. Anyone who can log in and create an account or create an account on your site, whether it's via SUNET login or local login, gets the authenticated user role. So if you give the authenticated user a permission, that cascades to all of these other roles. Additionally, permissions are additive, and so if a user is in any role that has a permission, that user has that permission. So if I give a permission to use PHP input to Stanford staff, when I log in as my SUNET user, I'm in that Stanford staff role. Even though SUNET user doesn't have the permission, Stanford staff does, and I'm in that role, so I get that permission. We don't want to do that. Typically, you also want to avoid giving the permission to delete content. If you turn on your revisions and turn off deleting, that saves you from actions that can sometimes have tragic consequences. So, in summary, avoid giving permissions for PHP, avoid giving permissions to delete or select different theme, but pretty much all the other options, permissions you can give to your webmaster role. Now, when I log out as user 1 and log back in with my SUNET ID, I'm in the webmaster role and now I have full administrative access to the site. Now, if someone else were to log in with their SUNET ID, they would still have the restricted permissions because I put my SUNET user in the webmaster role.